Are you looking for some ideas for using 6x6 paper on 5x7 cards? Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafting supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I am working with a collection from Spellbinders. This is a birthday celebrations collection, and it is in honor of their 20th birthday celebration. So big happy birthday to Spellbinders. They invited me to work with the collection, and I'm a big fan of their products, so I accepted. So these were sent to me by Spellbinders. But I wanted to share a 6x6 and 6x6 paper, 5x7 no scrap tutorial. I originally came up with this as a paper pad when I was working with a large paper pad, but I never got to showcase this individual design. So you're going to start with your 6x6 paper. You're going to cut it to 3x6, and then you're going to cut one of the 3x6s in half again to 3x3. So you'll have two 3x3 inch pieces and one 3x6 inch piece. Then I want to add some card mats. You don't have to do this, but I like the way that it separates the pattern paper. And I'm going to cut those to 1/4 inch bigger. So I have a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Well, I have two of those. And then I have a 3 1/4 by 6 1/4 mat. I pulled in the yellow from the cards or from the paper collection. I really liked the happy, cheery colors in this collection. Although the addition of yellow, I don't think I find that as much in pattern paper collections. So it was a bright, fun, happy color to have in there. And I really wanted to pull that in because I find I don't get as much chance to use my yellow paper. So this is single-sided paper, and I wanted to show you that you can complete the design with one sheet of single-sided paper and you don't have to mix up the patterns. But of course, if you wanted your background squares to be a different pattern than your main focal point rectangle, you can use two pieces of pattern paper and make two cards. But I'm just going to make one card, and each 6x6 piece of paper makes one card. If you are looking to use up an entire pad of 6x6 paper, like you got a bunch of it, this is a great sketch because it only does make one card with that entire sheet. So you could go through your paper pretty quickly like that. I have some pre-scored and cut 5x7 cards here. I purchased these at my local big box store because you just cannot cut a 5x7 card very efficiently from your standard 8.5 by 11 paper. So it makes me curious those who commonly make 5x7 cards, do you pre-purchase your card bases or do you make them yourself? And then what do you make them with 8.5 by 11, etc.? Give me the details. Okay, so I'm ready to embellish, and I'm going to use the Party Decor die set. This die set has a couple of strings that you cut, and of course they're made of cardstock. You could skip the strings and actually use twine or something as well. But with it being cardstock, it makes it a little bit easier to glue down the decorative elements. So instead of it being like one banner where it cuts it all as one piece, they give you the option for large circles, small circles, triangles, or little banner shapes. And I think that while this may be a little bit more work than if they gave you a solid piece that like already had all the circles attached to it, this does mean that you could change up the colors really easily. So I'm going to do pink on pink here today, but you could very easily incorporate some additional colors. This particular pattern paper that I'm working with, I pulled in the yellow with the cardstock mats, and there's also the pink in the pattern paper, so I'm going to pull that in here. But there's a gold, and so maybe making a gold string and putting little pink dots on it would be nice, or even incorporating more of the yellow with your dots. You get a lot of versatility there, and without having to color it in. This is the perfect occasion for liquid glue. I'm a big fan of my ATG, but it is not a good fit for these little tiny dies. So I switched over to my Barely Art liquid glue, solid liquid glue, love it. And my glue stand from Make It My Marco, which is that blue plastic thing on my desk that holds my glue. It really keeps the glue down at the bottom so that when I'm ready to use it, it's ready to go. She sent that to me, but I continue to use it because it's amazing. It sits right there on my desk at all times. So anytime I need my liquid glue, it's ready to go. It's never stuck. I never have to shake the bottle or anything. I'm going to use a sentiment from a previous collection by Spellbinders. It says, "Sprinkled with fun, I kind of thought that the background paper looks a little bit like sprinkles, so I wanted to pull in that sentiment. At first, I stamped it in a little bit more of like an orangey red, and I really wanted to pull in the bright pink that I knew I would use on this balloon animal. So this balloon animal is super cute. It comes as, we cut the large balloon animal, and then you cut all of these other accent pieces separately. So you can get it all in one pass of your machine. And by using a tone-on-tone effect, you create a really nice dimensional looking embellishment without having to color. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't like to color but likes to add some like cutesy looking things to your card, this is a great option. So I also added some white highlights with a white gel pen. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I will do my best to link it because every time I go to use it, it is ready to go. So I have not found that. I've found many white gel pens that dry out, but this one has been pretty reliable. I don't use it a ton, but every time I go to it, even if it has been weeks, it seems like it's holding up and ready to go. Instead of using foam tape behind here, I'm just going to use some scrap thick cardstock that came to support something in the mail, or but you could totally use foam tape instead. Also, you could take two scraps of thick cardstock and glue them together and glue it behind your shapes to give them a little bit dimension. I actually really like that it gives such a small amount of dimension and it's not as thick as some of the foam tape that is out there. Another great instance for my Barely Art glue. And then if you found this video inspiring, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supply. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.